Yeah, the perfect day for cruising a canal boat and also a motorbike, which sort of segues me into a question I had from a viewer. How is it possible for me to have a motorbike yet still live on a boat and cruise the canals? Quite simply, the bike now is in storage. Previously, with my previous 2 bikes, I sold them. I should have put them into storage, but sold my lovely Harley. That Harley, it was just perfect. If I'd thought about it, I'd have just put them into storage further south down the country. But no, the way it works now is, I cruise the canals, film, enjoy, half the year on the canals, and then for a month or 2, motorbike. I just put Aslan onto a mooring and off I go for a month, riding around, camping, see the sights. It's taken a while to get like a little system going, but it works perfectly. I couldn't do the old cruise along a bit, then go back, get your car or bike, move it down to where you are and just keep doing that. I couldn't do that. Plus I wouldn't be happy leaving my bike moored up wherever out in the open. No sir. Have you heard the tale of Aslan and the Gent? Have you seen their travels before? Well, did you know that they're back again and cruising the canals once more? Sold up, downsized for a minimalised alternative life afloat. Going boldly where thousands have been before. One man, one life, one boat. Oh, and no, it is not possible to put a 650-pound fueled up huge touring bike, the BMW R1200 GS Adventure, on the front of Aslan. The whole approach, the logistics of getting that bike onto the boat, it would be a nightmare. And it's not big enough at the front anyway. But no, I don't want to cruise around the country with a huge touring motorbike stuck on the front of my boat. Thank you very much. No. A bridge followed by a sharp bend and then the M69 motorway, which thankfully disappears just as quickly as it appears. There's something very unnatural and unnerving and quite disturbing about the incessant noise of a motorway. White noise almost. Quite unpleasant. Well, it is for me. Approaching the very tiny village of Ansty. And indeed, the Nicholson guide says that the village has been very much changed by the arrival of the motorway. that was Ansty, and now around about 2.5 to 3 miles to where I hope to moor up at Bridge 26, not far from Brinklow. And rather nice old working boats here, and they both say "God save the King" on the front. Shows how old they are. And I remember Squire's Bridge. Squire. 2017. Different times back then. Though fortunately the canals haven't suffered the changes quite as much yet. This looks very much like wild burdock to me. Loved by horses and extremely medicinal. Though not when it's incorporated into some sugary processed fizzy drink. I'm very much enjoying being back on the Oxford. It has a feeling, an almost a homely kind of feeling. It's like I'm heading back in time to better times, before the dark times, before the Empire. That was a bit unusual. The boat was coming along, and I could see that after the bridge the canal narrowed because of the overhanging trees and so on. So I slowed down, came to a halt, waved them through about 3 times, but they kept over to the side of the canal, scraping through the trees, and now they're grounded on a bank. No harm done though, by the look of it. Managed to get going. Another narrow point and a boat coming, so I'll do the same again. I shall slow down and wait for them to come through. Yeah, I'm in no hurry. Time is not pressing on me. Nettle Hill Bridge, and in the far distance the M6 motorway makes another and final appearance across the canal. It's funny how time can play tricks with your memory, because I vividly recall that that bridge was a couple of miles north of Braunston, which is about 16 miles away.
Oh, that's that, this buddy.
Alright.
Oh, watch out.
Alright, cheers.
What's the bit now?
Ow, 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 ow. The lady on that boat, her back got scraped right along a load of brambles. Just this half a mile straight bit, and then shortly after I'll find somewhere to moor up. I hope. This stretch of the Oxford Canal, of course, is nowhere near Oxfordshire, as we're still in Warwickshire. Oxfordshire is still way, way, way south. There's a line of boats moored up down here. This is pretty much the very spot I want. By the look of it, I think everyone else has had the same thought. There's a space there. Yeah, there's a mooring here. I think I'm going to grab that. My, couldn't have hoped for a better mooring. And besides being right next to this sunken canal boat, that's also at Bridge 26, which is the Coventry way to Brinklow. What a sad sight. Alright, let's go for a little walk into Brinklow. I do still have my folding bicycle, but I found, in the scheme of things, it's a lot quicker and at times easier to just walk. Yeah, to quote the old boy on the Green Mile, I like to walk. Yeah. The train line up there is never far away, though it's far enough away where I'm moored that you don't really notice it. It's warm and sunny for a change, though just a bit on the humid side. Very nice though. Coming upon Stretton Stop, which is a place I remember very clearly, but somewhere that I never stopped at and took a look around. Here's the swing bridge. When I come through tomorrow, I'll be required to stop the other side, get off, open the bridge, come through, and then close it again. And the chandlery here, so if I run out of gas before tomorrow, I'll know where to go. Onwards to Brinklow. Spectacular countryside round here, enhanced no doubt by this spectacular weather. When I visited Brinklow back in season 1, I'd moored up a bit further along the canal at a place called Hungerfield, which meant that I cycled into Brinklow at the other end. For a change, I'm approaching from the opposite side. One village shop. And action!
Hi Kev, lovely to meet you. Fellow Kev the kayaker from Brinklow. Brilliant to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you. Yeah, cheers. That was a nice climb. And nice meeting you, Kev. Kevin the Brinklow kayaker. A regular viewer and commenter to the channel. Oh. This here then is the Motte of the Bailey, and a Motte Bailey castle is one of the earliest forms of castle in Britain. It's a man-made hill, or motte, and on top would typically be a wooden fortified structure, a bailey. This is a steep old climb. Attacking hordes, if they got this far, would have been drastically slowed down running up the up the mound, up the motte, and no doubt would have been shot by an arrow or boiling tar poured on them or whatever. The other advantage of this motte is that the occupants would have had a sensational view of the surrounding area. If you can still hear me, it's windy. I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles. Quite the most perfect couple of days at Brinklow there, and now moving on, either about 5 miles to Newbold-on-Avon or 7 miles to the town of Rugby. Either suits me fine. If the mooring situation's okay at Newbold-on-Avon, then I think I'll moor up there. If not, then Rugby. Which means, of course, a proper supermarket. My first since Coventry. Up ahead, the swing bridge at Stretton Wharf, which I looked at on my walk to Brinklow. There's some people gathered down there. Whether they're going to open the swing bridge for me or not, I don't know. No. No worries. It's easy enough to stop and get off here. Ah, it's just about to stop, and the guy opens the bridge for me. Thank you, kind sir. Just gave it a big push. I think I'll still have to get off to close it though. A proper hive of boat activity. Very nice. Chandlery, diesel and boat hire. Excuse me if I have a bit of celery in my teeth. I was just going to say there's very little to compare to the canals in the middle of summer, especially a proper summer, not like the one we've had. But this week, I mean it's now Friday, so next week is all set to be very nice, and hopefully it's going to go on for quite a while. Well, that railway has thankfully slipped away, and it briefly returns again in about 2 miles. There's a sudden wind picking up. Oh, look at that. There's a bike on the tug deck. You definitely get a better sense of canal life when you don't do so much distance. Quite liberating, really.